A list of botanical garden websites in the United States. Chapter 1. U.S. Botanical Garden Websites. AC. Postal Memorial Rose Garden. sbrose.org/rosegarden.hdm. Santa Barbara, California. Allen Bible Visitor Center. home.nps.gov/lame/planyarvisit/visitorcenters.hdm. Boulder, Nevada. Albin Polasek Museum and Sculpture Gardens. Polasek.org. Winter Park, Florida. Alfred B. Maclay Gardens State Park. floridastateparks.org/maclaygardens/default.cfm. Tallahassee, Florida. Allerton Garden. ntbg.org/gardens/allerton. Koloa, Hawaii. American Orchid Society. aos.org. Coral Gables, Florida. Amy B. H. Greenwell Ethnobotanical Garden. bishopmuseum.org/exhibits/greenwell/greenwell.html. Captain Cook, Hawaii. Ann Norton Sculpture Gardens. ansg.org. West Palm Beach, Florida. Anna Maria Island Historical Museum. amihs.org. Anna Maria Island, Florida. Annie Riggs Memorial Museum, Fort Stockton Historical Society. annieiggsmuseum.com. Fort Stockton, Texas. Anne Marie Sculpture Garden and Arts Center. annemariegarden.org. Solomons, Maryland. Antelope Valley California Poppy Reserve. parks.ca.gov. Lancaster, California. Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. desertmuseum.org. Tucson, Arizona. Atlanta Botanical Gardens. atlantabotanicalgarden.org. Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta History Center. atlantahistorycenter.com. Atlanta, Georgia. Audubon House and Tropical Gardens. audubonhouse.com. Key West, Florida. Bacon's Castle. preservation-virginia.org/visit/historic-properties/bacons-castle. Surrey, Virginia. The Bakken. thebakken.org. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Berkeley Municipal Rose Garden. Berkeley, California. Berkshire Botanical Garden. berkshirebotanical.org. Stockbridge, Massachusetts. Beverly Hills Cactus Garden. Beverly Hills, California. Birmingham Botanical Gardens. bbgardens.org/media/html/home/index.php. Birmingham, Alabama. Blackberry Historical Farm Village. Fox Valley Park District.org. Aurora, Illinois. Bloedel Reserve. bloedelreserve.org. Bainbridge Island, Washington. Boner Botanical Gardens. bonerbotanicalgardens.org. Hales Corners, Wisconsin. Bok Tower Gardens. boktowergardens.org. Lake Wales, Florida. Botanical Building. balboapark.org/in-the-park/botanical-building. San Diego, California. Botanical Garden CSU Northridge. csun.edu/botanic garden. Northridge, California. Botanical Gardens of Asheville. ashevillebotanicalgardens.org. Asheville, North Carolina. Bowman's Hill Wildflower Preserve. bhwp.org. New Hope, Pennsylvania. Brandywine River Museum. brandywinemuseum.org. Chadsford, Pennsylvania. Brazoria Historical Museum. brazoriahf.org. Brazoria, Texas. Brook Green Gardens. brookgreen.org. Mull's Inlet, South Carolina. Brooklyn Botanic Garden. bbg.org. Brooklyn, New York. Brookside Gardens. brooksidegardens.org. Wheaton, Maryland. Bruce Museum of Arts and Science. brucemuseum.org. Greenwich, Connecticut. Buffalo and Erie County Botanical Gardens. Buffalo, New York. Kachuma Lake Nature Center. sbparks.com/docs/kachumacalendar.html. Santa Barbara, California. Cantigny Gardens and Museums. cantigny.org. Wheaton, Illinois. The Burroughs Home and Gardens. burroughshome.com. Fort Myers, Florida. The Cape Fear Botanical Garden. capefearbg.org. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Carl S. English Jr. Botanical Garden. gardenvisit.com/garden/Carl_S_English_Jr_botanical_garden. Seattle, Washington. Carolina Bronze Sculpture Garden and Foundry. cbsculpturegarden.com. Seagrove, North Carolina. Casa Romantica Cultural Center and Gardens. casaromantica.org. San Clemente, California. Catonsville Historical Society. catonsvillehistory.org. Catonsville, Maryland. Charles Allis Art Museum. charlesallis.org. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Chattahoochee Nature Center. chattanoogaCenter.org. Roswell, Georgia. Chestnut Hill Historical Society. chhist.org. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Chicago Botanic Gardens. chicagobotanic.org. Glencoe, Illinois. Chula Vista Nature Center. chulavistanaturecenter.org. Chula Vista, California. Clark Botanic Garden. North Hempstead, New York.gov/content/7354/7125/4697/default.aspx. Albertson, New York. Cleveland Botanical Garden. cbgarden.org. Cleveland, Ohio. Clouds Hill Victorian House Museum. cloudshill.org. Warwick, Rhode Island. Collier County Museums. colliermuseums.com. Naples, Florida. Coos County Fairgrounds Museum. fairgroundsmuseum.coquillvalley.org. Myrtle Point, Oregon. Coral Gables Merrick House. coralgables.com/cgweb/merrickhouse.aspx. Coral Gables, Florida. Crowley Museum and Nature Center. crowleyfl.org. Sarasota, Florida. Cummer Museum of Art and Gardens. cummermuseum.org. Jacksonville, Florida. Cuneo Museum and Gardens. cuneomuseum.org. Vernon Hills, Illinois. Sylvan Arboretum Association. sylvanassociation.org. Baltimore, Maryland. Daniel Stowe Botanical Garden. dsbg.org. Belmont, North Carolina. Deer Valley Rock Art Center. dvrac.asu.edu. Phoenix, Arizona. Denver Botanic Gardens. botanicgardens.org. Denver, Colorado. Descanso Gardens. descansogardens.org. La Canada Flintridge, California. Desert Botanical Garden. dbg.org. Phoenix, Arizona. Dothan Area Botanical Gardens. dabg.com. Dothan, Alabama. Duncan Water Gardens. Fresno, California. Duval Tool Museum. mncppc.org/2099/about-the-museums. Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Earl Burns Miller Japanese Garden. Long Beach, California. Eden State Gardens. floridestateparks.org/edengardens/default.cfm. Point Washington, Florida. Edison and Ford Winter Estates. EdisonFordWINT ErieStates.org. Fort Myers, Florida. Edith J. Carrier Arboretum and Botanical Gardens at James Madison University. jmu.edu/arboretum. Harrisonburg, Virginia. Edward Dean Museum and Gardens. edward-deanmuseum.org. Cherry Valley, California. Fabian Villa and Japanese Garden. ppfv.org. Geneva, Illinois. Fabian Villa Museum and Japanese Garden. ppfv.org/fabian.hdm. Geneva, Illinois. Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden. fairchildgarden.org. Coral Gables, Florida. Fairmount Park Commission. fairmountpark.org. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Feather River Nature Center and Native Plant Park. cityoforoville.org. Oroville, California. Feather River Nature Center and Native Plant Park. cityoforoville.org. Oroville, California. Fendel Hall. fendelhall.com. Eufaula, Alabama. Fendel Hall. fendelhall.com. Eufaula, Alabama. Filoli. filoli.org. Woodside, California. Filoli. filoli.org. Woodside, California. Flamingo Gardens, Botanical Collection and Everglades Wildlife Sanctuary. flamingogardens.org. Davie, Florida. Flamingo Gardens, Botanical Collection and Everglades Wildlife Sanctuary. flamingogardens.org. Davie, Florida. Florida Institute of Technology Botanical Gardens. fit.edu. Melbourne, Florida. Florida Institute of Technology Botanical Gardens. fit.edu. Melbourne, Florida. Follinger Frey Imman Botanical Conservatory. botanicalconservatory.org. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Follinger Frey Imman Botanical Conservatory. botanicalconservatory.org. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Forestier Underground Gardens. undergroundgardens.com. Fresno, California. Forestier Underground Gardens. undergroundgardens.com. Fresno, California. Fort Defiance. fortdefiancenc.org. Lanier, North Carolina. Fort Defiance. fortdefiancenc.org. Lanier, North Carolina. Foster Botanical Garden. co.honolulu.hi.us/parks/hbg/fbg.htm. Honolulu, Hawaii. Foster Botanical Garden. co.honolulu.hi.us/parks/hbg/fbg.htm. Honolulu, Hawaii. Franklin Park Conservatory and Botanical Garden. Columbus, Ohio. Franklin Park Conservatory and Botanical Garden. Columbus, Ohio. Frederick Meyer Gardens and Sculpture Park. meyergardens.org. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Frederick Meyer Gardens and Sculpture Park. meyergardens.org. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Friendship Garden. Glendale, California. Friendship Garden. Glendale, California. Fuku Bonsai Cultural Center and Hawaii State Bonsai. fukubonsai.com. Kittistown, Hawaii. Fuku Bonsai Cultural Center and Hawaii State Bonsai. fukubonsai.com. Kittistown, Hawaii. Garfield Park Conservatory. garfield-conservatory.org. Chicago, Illinois. Garfield Park Conservatory. garfield-conservatory.org. Chicago, Illinois. Garfield Park Conservatory and Sunken Gardens. garfieldgardensconservatory.org. Indianapolis, Indiana. Garfield Park Conservatory and Sunken Gardens. Garfield Gardens Conservatory.org. Indianapolis, Indiana. Gary Melchers Home and Studio. GaryMelchers.org. Fredericksburg, Virginia. Gary Melchers Home and Studio. GaryMelchers.org. Fredericksburg, Virginia. Genesee County Parks and Recreation Commission. GeneseeCountyParks.org. Flint, Michigan. Genesee County Parks and Recreation Commission. GeneseeCountyParks.org. Flint, Michigan. Geneseo Colony Questers. Geneseo, Illinois. Geneseo Colony Questers. Geneseo, Illinois. GOL Luthi MEM. Botanical Garden. Peoria, Illinois. GOL Luthi MEM. Botanical Garden. Peoria, Illinois. George White and Anna Gunn Marston House. SohoSanDiego.org. San Diego, California. Gary Dunlap Rose Garden / Botanical Garden. Pacific.edu/about-Pacific /sustainability /Pacific-garden-program /the-gardens.html. Stockton, California. Nome Botanical Gardens. Kent, Washington. Gordon Roberts House. GORDON-ROBERTSHOUSE.com. Cumberland, Maryland. Grand Isle Lake House. GrandIsleLakehouse.com. Grand Isle, Vermont. Green Bay Botanical Garden. GBBG.org. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Hackney Gardens. Saratoga, California. Hampton Historical Society. HamptonHistoricalSociety.org. Hampton, New Hampshire. Happy Hollow Park and Zoo. HHPZ.org. San Jose, California. Harry P. Lau Gardens. laugardens.org. Orlando, Florida. Hawaii Tropical Botanical Garden. hawaiigarden.com. Papakau, Hawaii. Heathcote Botanical Gardens. heathcotebotanicalgardens.org. Fort Pierce, Florida. Heritage Canyon. City of Fulton.us/index.php $?option $m_tree #task =view link &link _id =6 &item id =98. Fulton, Illinois. Heritage Museums and Gardens. heritagemuseumsandgardens.org. Sandwich, Massachusetts. Hermitage Museum and Gardens. thfm.org. Norfolk, Virginia. Hess Heritage Museum. Ashton, Idaho. Hist. Pres. Commission of Oak Park. Oak Park, Illinois. Ho'omaluhia Botanical Garden. co.honolulu.hi.us/parks/hbg/hmbg.htm. Kaneohe, Hawaii. Hudgens Center for the Arts. thehudgens.org. Duluth, Georgia. Hulda Klager Lilac Gardens. lilacgardens.com. Woodland, Washington. Huntsville/Madison County Botanical Garden. hsvbg.org. Huntsville, Alabama. Idaho Botanical Gardens. Boise, Idaho. InfoCenter Alabama, Inc. InfoCenterAlabama.com. Helena, Alabama. Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. JacksonvilleZoo.org. Jacksonville, Florida. James Irvine Garden. Los Angeles, California. Japanese Friendship Garden. San Diego, California. Japanese Garden. TheJapaneseGarden.com. Van Nuys, California. Japanese House and Garden. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Jasmine Hill Gardens and Outdoor Museum. jasminehill.org. Montgomery, Alabama. John Paul Jones House. PortsmouthHistory.org. Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Joseph F. Glidden Homestead and Historical Center. gliddenhomestead.org. DeKalb, Illinois. Joseph Moore Museum of Natural History. earlham.edu/jmm. Richmond, Indiana. Jewel Collins Smith Museum of Art. jcsm.auburn.edu. Auburn, Alabama. Kahanu Garden. ntbg.org/gardens/kahanu. Hana, Hawaii. Keizuka Meditation Garden. Culver City, California. Kalmia Gardens. kalmiagardens.org. Hartsville, South Carolina. Kanapaha Botanical Gardens. kanapaha.org. Gainesville, Florida. Key West Tropical Forest and Botanical Garden. keywestbotanicalgarden.org. Key West, Florida. Clem Arboretum and Botanic Garden. clem.org. Rockford, Illinois. Corishaun State Historic Site and Mound Key Archaeological State Park. corishaun.mweb.org. Estero, Florida. La Casita del Arroyo Garden. Pasadena, California. La Señora Research Institute. laseñora.org. Santa Monica, California. Ladue Topiary Gardens. ladugardens.com. Moncton, Maryland. Lanier Mansion State Historic Site. indianamuseum.org. Madison, Indiana. Legler Barn Museum. leglerbarn.org. Lenexa, Kansas. Lemon Hill Mansion. lemonhill.org. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Lendonwood Gardens. lendonwood.com. Grove, Oklahoma. Lewis Ginter Botanical Gardens. lewisginter.org. Richmond, Virginia. Lignum Vitae Key Botanical State Park. floridastateparks.org/lignum vitae/default.cfm. Islamorada, Florida. Lima Huli Garden. hawaii.edu/hsrc/home/lima hl1.htm. Haina, Hawaii. Lincoln Park Conservatory. Chicago, Illinois. Locust Grove, the Samuel F. B. Morse Historic Site. lgnewyork.org. Poughkeepsie, New York. Longwood Gardens. longwoodgardens.org. Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. Los Angeles Police Revolver and Athletic Club, Inc. Los Angeles, California. Lotusland Foundation. lotusland.org. Santa Barbara, California. Luray Valley Museum. luraycaverns.com. Luray, Virginia. McCallum Moore Museum and Gardens. mmmg.org. Chase City, Virginia. Maine Historical Society and Museum. mainehistory.org. Portland, Maine. Marie Selby Botanical Gardens Downtown Sarasota Campus. selby.org. Sarasota, Florida. Marie Selby Botanical Gardens Historic Spanish Point Campus. selby.org. Osprey, Florida. Matthews Living History Farm Museum. matthewsfarmmuseum.org. Galax, Virginia. Maymont. maymont.org. Richmond, Virginia. McBride Garden. ntbg.org/gardens/McBride. Koloa, Hawaii. McCrory Gardens. www.sdstate.edu/academics/College of Agriculture and Biological Sciences/Horticulture Forest Islands Cape Parks/McCrory Gardens. Brookings, South Dakota. McKee Botanical Garden. mckeegarden.org. Vero Beach, Florida. Mendocino Coast Botanic Garden. gardenbythesea.org. Fort Bragg, California. Mildred Mathias Botanical Garden. botgard.ukla.edu/bg-home.htm. Los Angeles, California. Mill Mountain Zoological Park. mmzoo.org. Roanoke, Virginia. Milwaukee County Zoo. milwaukeezoo.org. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Minnesota Historical Society. mnhs.org. St. Paul, Minnesota. Mission Santa Clara. scu.edu/Mission Church/History. Santa Clara, California. Mobile Botanical Garden. mobilebotanicalgardens.org. Mobile, Alabama. Montpelier Mansion. pgparks.com/places/elegant historic/Montpelier_intro.html. Laurel, Maryland. Moody Gardens. moodygardens.org. Galveston, Texas. Moorton Botanic Garden. moortongarden.com. Palm Springs, California. Morecambe Amphitheater of Roses. Oakland, California. Morikami Museum and Japanese Gardens. morikami.org. Delray Beach, Florida. Morris Arboretum. business-services-services.upenn.edu/arboretum/index.html. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Morven Museum and Garden. morven.org. Princeton, New Jersey. Mount Gilead Historic Site. mountgilead.org. Beacon, New York. Mounts Botanical Garden. mounts.org. West Palm Beach, Florida. Municipal Rose Gardens. sjparks.org/regional/rosegarden.asp. San Jose, California. Museum of Osteopathic Medicine and International Center for Osteopathic History. atsu.edu/museum. Kirksville, Missouri. Minell Gardens. Jackson, Mississippi. Myriad Botanical Gardens. myriadgardens.com/index.html. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. NC. Botanical Garden. ncbg.unc.edu. Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Nanny Mao Gardens. nannymao.com. Hilo, Hawaii. Naples Botanical Garden. naplesgarden.org. Naples, Florida. Naples Zoo at Caribbean Gardens. napleszoo.org. Naples, Florida. Nassau County Museum of Art. nassaumuseum.org. Roslyn Harbor, New York. National Tropical Botanical Garden. ntbg.org. Kalaheo, Hawaii. National Zoological Park. nationalzoo.si.edu. Washington, District of Columbia. Nemours Mansion and Gardens. nemoursmansion.org. Wilmington, Delaware. New York Botanical Garden. nibg.org. Bronx, New York. Norfolk Botanical Garden. nbgs.org. Norfolk, Virginia. North Central Oklahoma Cactus Botanical Garden. Covington, Oklahoma. North Central Oklahoma Cactus Botanical Garden. Covington, Oklahoma. Old Rugged Cross Historical Society. the-oldruggedcross.org. Pokagon, Michigan. Old Rugged Cross Historical Society. the-oldruggedcross.org. Pokagon, Michigan. Ormond Memorial Art Museum and Gardens. ormondartmuseum.org. Ormond Beach, Florida. Ormond Memorial Art Museum and Gardens. ormondartmuseum.org. Ormond Beach, Florida. Overfelt Gardens. San Jose, California. Overfelt Gardens. San Jose, California. Pacific Asia Museum. pacificasiamuseum.org. Pasadena, California. Pacific Asia Museum. pacificasiamuseum.org. Pasadena, California. Payne Art Center and Gardens. ThePayne.org. Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Payne Art Center and Gardens. ThePayne.org. Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Palm Beach Zoo and Conservation Society. PalmBeachZoo.org. West Palm Beach, Florida. Palm Beach Zoo and Conservation Society. PalmBeachZoo.org. West Palm Beach, Florida. Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens. phipps.conservatory.org/visit-phipps/index.aspx. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens. phipps.conservatory.org/visit-phipps/index.aspx. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Placerville Nursery Interpretive Center. Camino, California. Placerville Nursery Interpretive Center. Camino, California. Pleasant Valley Historical Society Museum and Botanical Garden. PleasantValleyHistoricalSociety.org. Camarillo, California. Pleasant Valley Historical Society Museum and Botanical Garden. PleasantValleyHistoricalSociety.org. Camarillo, California. Plymouth Plantation, Inc. Plymouth.org. Plymouth, Massachusetts. Plymouth Plantation, Inc. Plymouth.org. Plymouth, Massachusetts. Poplar Grove Plantation. poplargrove.com. Wilmington, North Carolina. Poplar Grove Plantation. poplargrove.com. Wilmington, North Carolina. Pratt Museum/Homer Society of Natural History. prattmuseum.org. Homer, Alaska. Pratt Museum/Homer Society of Natural History. prattmuseum.org. Homer, Alaska. Preservation Delaware. preservationda.org. Wilmington, Delaware. Preservation Delaware. preservationda.org. Wilmington, Delaware. Preservation Partners of Fox Valley. ppfv.org. St. Charles, Illinois. Preservation Partners of Fox Valley. ppfv.org. St. Charles, Illinois. Pueblo Zoo. pueblozoo.org. Pueblo, Colorado. Pueblo Zoo. pueblozoo.org. Pueblo, Colorado. Quail Botanical Gardens. qbgardens.com. Encinitas, California. Quail Botanical Gardens. qbgardens.com. Encinitas, California. Queens Botanical Garden. queensbotanical.org. Flushing, New York. Queens Botanical Garden. queensbotanical.org. Flushing, New York. Rancho Los Alamitos Historic Ranch and Gardens. rancholosAlamitos.com. Long Beach, California. Rancho Los Alamitos Historic Ranch and Gardens. rancholosAlamitos.com. Long Beach, California. Rancho Santa Ana Botanic Garden. rsabg.org. Claremont, California. Rhododendron Species Botanical Garden. rhodeygarden.org. Federal Way, Washington. Riverbanks Zoological Park and Botanical Gardens. riverbanks.org. Columbia, South Carolina. Robert F. Hoover Herbarium. San Luis Obispo, California. Rockbridge Historical Society. rockhist.org. Lexington, Virginia. Rockwood Park and Museum. rockwood.org. Wilmington, Delaware. Rodef Shalom Biblical Botanical Garden. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Roper Mountain Science Center. ropermountain.org. Greenville, South Carolina. Rush Botanical Garden. Citrus Heights, California. Sioux Botanical and Native Plant Center. Rohnert Park, California. Star Echo Station. echostation.org. Culver City, California. St. Michael's Episcopal Church Botanical Gardens. Albany, New York. San Antonio Botanical Gardens. Sabo.org. San Antonio, Texas. Santa Barbara Botanic Garden. Santa Barbara, California. Santa Barbara Orchid Estate. sborchid.com. Santa Barbara, California. Seminole County Public Schools Student Museum. scps.k12.fl.us. Sanford, Florida. Senator Fong's Plantation and Gardens. fonggarden.com. Kaneohe, Hawaii. Charlotte Hall Museum. charlotte.org. Prescott, Arizona. Skinner House. Griggsville, Illinois. Society of the Four Arts. forarts.org. Palm Beach, Florida. South Bend Botanical Gardens and Greenhouse. South Bend, Indiana. South Carolina Botanical Gardens. Clemson, South Carolina. South Coast Botanic Garden. southcoastbotanicgarden.org. Palos Verdes, California. South Texas Botanical Gardens and Nature Center. sdxbot.org. Corpus Christi, Texas. Spring River Zoo. roswell.index.php/pd1_zoo. Roswell, New Mexico. State Museum of History. ok-history.mus.ok.us. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Staten Island Botanical Garden. Staten Island, New York. Sumter County Museum. sumtercountymuseum.org. Sumter, South Carolina. Taylor Arboretum at Widener University. taylorarboretum.org. Wallingford, Pennsylvania. Texas Discovery Gardens. texasdiscoverygardens.org. Dallas, Texas. Texas Historical Commission. thc.state.tx.us. Austin, Texas. The Columbus Museum. columbusmuseum.com. Columbus, Georgia. The Contemporary Museum, Honolulu. tcmhi.org. Honolulu, Hawaii. The Cora Hartshorn Arboretum. hartshornarboretum.org. Short Hills, New Jersey. The Crosby Arboretum. crosbyarboretum.msstate.edu. Picayune, Mississippi. The Garden Club of Georgia, Inc. uga.edu/Garden Club. Athens, Georgia. The Garden Club of Georgia, Inc. uga.edu/Garden Club. Athens, Georgia. The Henry Foundation for Botanical Research. Gladwine, Pennsylvania. The Living Desert. livingdesert.org. Palm Desert, California. The Mansion and Museums at Morven Park. morvenpark.org. Leesburg, Virginia. The New York Botanical Garden. nibg.org. Bronx, New York. The Peel Compton Foundation. peelcompton.org/peel/index.htm. Bentonville, Arkansas. The Peter O. Knight Historic House. tampahistoricalsociety.org. Tampa, Florida. The Peter O. Knight Historic House. tampahistoricalsociety.org. Tampa, Florida. The State Botanical Garden of Georgia. uga.edu/botgarden. Athens, Georgia. Tohono Chol Park. tohonocholpark.org/wordpress. Tucson, Arizona. Toledo Botanical Garden. toledogarden.org. Toledo, Ohio. Tower Grove, Missouri Botanical Garden. mabot.org/explore/towergrove.asp. St. Louis, Missouri. Trimborn Farm. milwaukee.history.net/historic_properties/trimborn_farm.html. Greendale, Wisconsin. Tuck Museum. hamptonhistoricalsociety.org/tuck.htm. Hampton, New Hampshire. Tucson Botanical Gardens. tucsonbotanical.org. Tucson, Arizona. UC Botanical Garden. botanicalgarden.berkeley.edu. Berkeley, California. UC Herbarium. Los Angeles, California. UCR Botanic Gardens. Riverside, California. University Park World Peace Rose Garden. universityparkstockton.com/rose-garden. Stockton, California. University of South Florida Botanical Garden. cas.usf.edu/garden. Tampa, Florida. Villa-Terrace Decorative Arts Museum. villaterracemuseum.org. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Virginia Living Museum. thevlm.org. Newport News, Virginia. Virginia Robinson Gardens. robinsongardens.org. Beverly Hills, California. Vizcaya Museum and Gardens. vizcaya.org. Miami, Florida. Wadsworth Longfellow House. mainhistory.org/house_overview.html. Portland, Maine. Wahiawa Botanical Garden. co.honolulu.hi.us/parks/hbg/wbg.htm. Wahiawa, Hawaii. Washington County Historical Society Inc. washcomthistoricalsociety.org. Hagerstown, Maryland. Vintertour Museum and Library. vintertour.org. Vintertour, Delaware. Woodlawn Museum, Gardens and Park. woodlawnmuseum.com. Ellsworth, Maine. World Methodist Museum. worldmethodistcouncil.org. Lake Junaluska, North Carolina. Zor Village, Ohio History Connection. historiczorvillage.com. Zor, Ohio. Zoo Tampa at Lowry Park. zootampa.org. Tampa, Florida.